Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas bloqué nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas bloqué. T'as bien de moi avec moi au Ndé. En somme, on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à mon on s'en bat bien pour moi il toi. Toi, là le caillou. Quand on soit du loin, allez, envoyez. Bati au loin. Yao, abela lokeyo, bibito jobai, bibito noba, artiste mo feyo. Manager Gigi, moi peux jamais forcer ou, si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassin de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniché les deux. C'est moi, Dio. Attends, nous y a bébé. Pété, y'a mon temps, à nous, Badio. Mon adèle, meilleur. Well, look at it. Adio, t'as eu ça, man, des fous, y'a pas y'en a. Oh, oh, mi. Voici les conséquences. Le meilleur monde, ouais, t'as Amunda weja ogenda o, obati amunda weja ogenda, oskide kozi do na loe. Memo ogenda o, abela we mo. Ode ya bati o. Si obati ogenda o, we tell you when it's yade. Daliko. Sili yedi ogenda o. La troupe à boire nous de dit si pas nous allons boire et quand t'as dit nous slap parce que oui avant viens bien. Donc, comme la baille, la commence à l'eau. Les Américains parlent l'eau. C'est aussi vraiment encore une autre fidèle qui. Les Américains parlent l'eau. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui. Il y a vous fait presse. Les Américains parlent l'eau. T'as bien de moi avec moi. En ce moment, on va battre au moins. Mon temps dit est à mon ça va bien pour moi dit toi. Tu là le caillou. Quand on soit du là. Allez. Envoyez. À tu là. Et là-haut. Abela le caillou. Vivito jobai. Vivito namba. Martissimo caillou. Manga Didi. Ouais, t'es jamais forcé. Si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Noska, Yassin, de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Anitie les deux.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Wrap-Up Radio. We're here again tonight. I want to say thank you very much to my own son, Prince Double. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it, sir. When you come on our show, it makes us feel good. Thank you. And also, we want to say Fatima V. Sherry, the woman of LPR, for which the Liberal is so happy to be the Liberal because of you, madam. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. But we want to say to all of you, please share this video, share it to as many people as possible. I used to have the ability to share. I can still share, but sometimes it takes some time with us here. So again, we want to thank all of you. Please continue to share this video. Share it to as many people as possible because it's very important that our brothers and sisters will come and join us to have this conversation. Thank you. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening as we come here before you. My Lord, we'll come again tonight with clean heart. We'll come again tonight with clean hands. We'll come again tonight praying to you to take complete control. We ask you, my Lord, whatever it is that is happening in our lives, whoever it is, my Lord, please come in and take complete control. Because of you, we are here. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for us and continue to do for us. We ask that you give us long life, my Lord. Yes. Thank you for that as well. We know you are behind us. We know you are with us. We know you are the light. Without you, we see nothing, even if our eyes are wide open. Your light is the light that shines before us. Your light is the light that we all believe in and count on. We ask you to have that light shining for us as long as possible. My Lord, we'll come again before you to pray and ask that the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the President of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. Give him long life, guide his hands, whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, that indeed his hands are be blessed by you. Whenever door that he knocks, my Lord, open the door in the interest of the Liberian people. Because of you, we are there. We say thank you. Thank you. My Lord, we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, folks. Let's go ahead. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, no juice. That's serious business. I'm going to start my own tonight. Yesterday, I was on here telling you that Flanti Kofa, Speaker Kofa, indeed, are putting this country, the Republic of Liberia, and the lawmaker on trial. It's not over yet. President Bakai and the Unity Party need to think twice, because this thing, what they rush into, is going to drag them. It's going to drag them. Because here's the thing, Liberians are quite aware. Flanty Kofa worked with this administration fully. He never hesitated to say, oh, for CDC business, I'm a CDC and we got to argue a little bit. Let me put on some show. Kofa never did that. Speaker Kofa never put on a show once. As long as President Baka a request and he felt within himself, President Baka is in need, is in the interest of the Liberian people, he does that. He agreed. What President Baka has done for me, and I would say, I wouldn't have done that. It's a mistake. I have no other word for it, but to say mistake. Because Flanty Kofa should have been kept in that position. And even if the people wanted him out, President Baka should have insisted, go through the proper channel. You got 5 more years. Why within that time another person come and challenge, another group come and challenge Coon? And then that Coon leave, the same thing, Coon will leave. Then another person comes and how are you going to expect the international community to even look at you as being serious? But here's the interesting thing. We are hearing. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, Petit. You are here, Emmanuel. Thank you. We are hearing that the Chief Justice, I read something yesterday, that the Chief Justice, one of the justices said why they were not at the sonal address. This is what we have. Instead of us coming here, that's my son. Piggy, let me drink water for it. Ajibo, you took my sister picture down, put your picture up. Ajibo, you took my sister picture down, put your picture up. By the time you come back Thursday, my sister picture should be here. My sister picture should be here. Don't play with me. By the time you come back next week, my sister picture should be here. And my son. He took my sister picture and put one picture up. Well, who is he? You put my sister picture up. That is my talking about. Why the begin come back and say, okay, you lie your sister so much. Why you can't put your own sister picture up? Why do I have the way I say now? But you will do it. Like my son, Ajiba put my sister picture. But let me go back. So thank you. So here's the thing here. No, seriously, every time you come here, when I see my sister picture, it make me feel good. Then they make me not to miss home much. Let me just tell you why I'm saying that. But anyhow, let me go on. Because of the debacle, we are unable to truly enumerate some of the good things that is happening in this government. Yeah, I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking about Kofa's issue, where I should have been able to talk about things. But what exactly can we talk about? Hey, man. Then your guy Alfonso so there and what's his name? Water cutter, they just dragging my face in the mud all over every night. I got to stay here because they ain't got no shift. They can't do nothing to me. That's the only way I survive, my people. But they 1 year is getting too much. We saw on a very serious note, you have a country that came from a civil war. And people are still traumatized. And you have the speaker office. The people using hammer and chaser and crowbar to open the door. And primer to use prior to pry the door open. Beautiful door. And you have a lawmaker standing there. Yeah, you're quiet. That one our government own. You were there when the men were facing your office. Can you tell which one the government spend money on, which one the government spend money on? You were there, begin. You were there. The thing you see, some of us are a little bit older now, but the thing you're playing with, you're young. You're the one who suffer it. Because okay, right now, I go to the library. What I gotta do now? I go to Total. I come from Toronto, I come back to Maria back home. Yeah. But some of yours, you're still 40-year-old. You got a long way to go. You can't leave from being representative and can't push cartoon here in America. Can't do that. And that's why we're asking for you guys to have that country fixed for you. For me, tomorrow again, I'm going all the way to Eureka, 7 hours drive from where I am. I got a bridge over there in Billy. I'm going to get paid. And when I'm done with, there are 2 bridges now, 3 actually, that are finishing over there. One is already in finished construction, people driving on it. The other one is in construction. We're just moving, fixing the people road every day. The road that total people will never see, I fix it every day. Every day. I'm getting paid. Then President Baka said, well, you'll come home. So yeah, so you'll come home and help us. I'm gonna come home and look at what they do in the Franticofa office. And you want me to come home. You want me to come home. You want me to come home to rebuild. Franticofa spent money to fix that office. Look what the people have done to it. And you want me to come home, President Waka. You're gonna do better than that. Besides that, look at the corrupt behavior all over the place. None of these people you put in offices, many of them, they are not there for themselves. I called a friend of mine this afternoon. He's in Liberia. He's suffering. He's going to have some issue with the USAID projects. He left from here 2010. He works in the government. After the government, he stayed. But many of these ministers, after the government, they take their money. What Judy Moore? What Judy Moore now? Former Minister of Public Works. Where is he? Is he in Liberia? No. They're here. Here. Those are the kinds of people you have in this government. And they will not allow people like Samson told them who want to stay home to come and stay in. No. Because they want something. And immediately after the election, they pack their money and pack their team blue. They come to America and sit down. How are we going to improve ourselves? How do we expect to improve the situation in Liberia? Okay. President Baka, you can say proper. President Baka, why you can? Man, people, let me cover my. Let me dress here. You're my own brother and sister. Why I can't finish dressing before you? Yeah. Let me dress. Who like it? There's no. Okay. Well dressed. Thank you, Mr. Toad. You're welcome. Drink some water. You're welcome. You know, one thing I noticed, it looks like I'm getting older little by little. The more I talk, the more I drink water. I used to be here 2-3 hours. No water. I would talk and think. And this time I got to look at that. I just talk 2 seconds. But who cares? Let's get back into the business. Folks, this is very serious. Hey, you know what really painful for me is to watch the young people that I interact with. It's to watch their reaction when they see this kind of thing happening in Liberia. They work here. Some of them doing good, making good money. But this is not their home. And it's in their blood. This is not their home. They say, if you give them the opportunity, they will come back home. You know, one of the things you will find of those of us my age, and I don't know about the young people now, but those days when you come into America, I remember when time for me, I went to Total, and my mom looked at me, said, you coming by? I said, yeah. I only going for school, Mom. After school, I coming by. And that was the God truth that was on my mind. But I got here, I follow whoa, wagaga, soccer, football, car, forget school. I'm gonna come go to school. I'm gonna leave your business. I'm gonna come go to school for what? I stay with you. I got money. I can't buy a car. I'm gonna come work and I beg you. I play football, going from state to state, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, all over. There you go, yeah, guys. Yeah, you go, yeah, guys. Yeah. I will go at football too anyway. I will come go to school for a while. or something made me to turn around, turn my life around. That's fine. But let's go ahead. The young people nowadays, one of the things that I have respect for the young people that are coming to the diaspora, that are coming to America. Most of them nowadays, when they come, they educate themselves. Here's the interesting thing, and this is the philosophy that I have myself, and I believe in that. You come here. I wish I've thought like that the first time I got here. The first time I got here, if I was to think, oh, about this time, money, what I do with fans up there, y'all be broke that day and come hang with help you out. I beg you, I do help you out. I beg you, I'll be rich. But when I got here, I was not thinking like the way the young people think. When you get here, the way they think now, it's the same way I think now. I advise young people. You get here, you were broke before coming. Nobody come here with $500, $700 in your pocket. You'll be lucky if you get $100 in your pocket. But you get here and you say, I used to be broke in Liberia. I will be broke for another 4 years. Once you make that determination and you say, I will be broke for another 4 years, I will struggle, but I will educate myself. 4 years. Samson told, can't even test you again. But let me go back to Liberia now. So, you're young. Look at the country. And when they look behind them, they look at the country they have. And they see, compare that to what is happening here in the United States with their lives. Hey, yeah, they go to some of the furniture place and buy the big screen TV or buy the projector and make their house so beautiful. Sometimes when they come from work and they're walking around their beautiful home, this thing here would be good if I had my house in Liberia and put this thing here, I put that one in that corner there and put it. That's how they think. It's all about Liberia. It's all about Liberia. But when they look back, to transport car, if the people are to open the free port, they say, okay, no, anybody, but we don't want you to bring any car that is less than 4 years old. Many Liberians will take car that will not be less than 2 years old. They will take it to Liberia. They will take it to, they don't mind spending $50,000 to buy a car to ride in Liberia, in Monrovia. In Monrovia, you know what it takes to drive in Monrovia? Even with all the junk they have over there, with all the mess they have over there, when you get in Monrovia and you're driving, you feel good. Don't let anybody fool you. You get in Monrovia, even with all of the traffic, they can't move around, they're sweaty. But when they're behind the wheel in the street of Monrovia, where they grew up, their home, they feel good. They feel good. They feel good. But they kind of life you got over there in Liberia. That the life you want me to sit on the platform and encourage young people, you gotta go. Young people, look at the guy that went to Flanty Kofa office today. Young man. He still have at least 40, 50 years ahead of himself. In 6 years or so, his time going to be over. What if he get defeated? Is he going to be able to fit in Monrovia? What do we have? What do we have? Well, the manito that I saw ya. What attitude you talking about? Begin. My attitude come from EJ Raw. Let me let you know. But anyway, let me go back to that. So what would within the next time, many of you young people, those that are here, they know they have done good, educated themselves, working, making money. But at deep inside of them, they know America is milking them of their ability to build Liberia. They're milking them of their ability to improve the lives of the Liberian people. We have a Liberian Engineer Society here in America. You know, yeah, but lately, many of them working for big company, engineering company. Most of them are double E, electrical engineer, making good money. Have you heard of Liberian Engineer Society here in America lately? Why? Why are they going to even try to, if the people back home don't even care for engineers? They don't care for engineers. The only thing they want to look over is lawyer and accounting, people who will move money around. And you expect your country to be better? The people who build for you, those who are responsible for your infrastructure, and you care nothing about them. You care nothing about it. All you want is bring people in offices, people who have nothing to offer but to steal from you. And every time we come and talk to you, election time, we come and lecture, we talk to you. This is not the way to go. Put people in offices who have something to offer you, not chicken soup and cup of rice. You don't listen. When it rains, you can't move. The city of Monrovia is sitting on top. It's higher. Many places in Monrovia higher than the sea level. So there is no reason why Monrovia must be flooded. Monrovia higher. It's up in the hill. Water can't go uphill. So what's the reason why water can't go down the hill? Look at Capitol Hill. Compare Capitol Hill to Busacola. It's downhill. When you get to Busacola over there, Busacola a little bit higher, but not by much over sea level. But still, Sony still flow past Busacola. Allah, Dala, and Sony flowing past in Busacola. Water can go uphill. Why must we have Monrovia flooded? You sit down here, you think say you know something. Eh? Eh? You sit down. You're young people. When these people are doing these kind of things, the person, oh, when you get from here, you go, oh, no, don't worry, you don't worry. Look what happened today at the Capitol building. And many of the young people are quiet, saying nothing because the political party. I laugh. Yeah, but here's the issue here. Some of us are still suffering inside. Why I got that kind of money from to take all my 15 children, I got put them on the plane to go to Labrador. I got money like that. To put 15 people on the plane and say, let's go to Town. I got money like that. I'm waiting for them to grow so they can buy their own ticket. In the meantime, America continue to milk me of my ability to do work in Liberia. I'll give you an example. The reason why I'm saying all of these things is about what happened to Flanti Kofa office today. So about 3 years ago, a friend of mine had a contract from African Development Bank. I will say I will not call their name, to do a road design from Zwedru all the way to Fishtown. And that contract was given to him, my friend. So he called me. I said, okay, I'll come in. So I went home. And they listed me as the lead engineer on the project, design engineer on the project, which was no big deal. But one of the things that I have in it, I told the young man, I said, look, yeah, you'll pay me, but you have control on how much you're going to pay me. I'm not even going to argue with you. And he said, well, something, what wrong with you? You come from drinking power? I said, no. They are told you the reason. Can you imagine if I have done the work and my design is built from Zwedru, Grand Union County, Zwedru, where I grew up, all the way to Fishtown, and people driving. I thank God say I even do it because I know if I would do, I would be so happy that maybe God would say, come home. But this is what we have. You know who did that job? A Lebanese man lives in Italy, and his company done business. He's doing business from from England. And when they finish doing the design, he doesn't live there. This is why I keep telling people, but they don't listen. He doesn't live there. When they finish doing the design, somebody sent me a copy of that. I look at it, I started laughing. Why would you give me a road just like all the hill, the other Tower Hill? Those of you that been, I know many of you watching that, you know what Tower Hill is. When you're going up there, you can't see anything. They have no sight distance whatsoever. But many of the roads that they design, that the people are going to build to go to Fishtown, many of the hill just like that. No side distance. They're still bending curve and you can't see ahead of you. That the people they put on that, they don't live there. The road they're building right now from Ganta, from Monreal all the way to Tabata, the road they're building. ice them for the ass bill. They got none. If you see it, they eat Chinese. Can you read Chinese? You can speak Chinese? What kinds of country are we? Who are we? There's this stuff I listened to today on Spoon as well. What the guy say he was somebody for engineered. For, I think they say road phone or something. They're still doing their stuff. But exactly what he said. You ICE Liberian government right now. Do you have anything, any kinds of road construction process? No, zero. So the people building these roads based on what they see, they put their tongue. Oh yeah, you good, you good. Many of you that are in Liberia right now, when you go into a total in a road building, look on the side, on both sides road. If you see stake, they call it laugh. It's a flat stake where they mark all the information in that spot. They don't have it. So they build it with thumb. Is this a country we have? And this is where the country President Waka wants something to come home and build. Fine. Open it up. Open it up. Forget about Samson from Total, whatever. Let him apply and have interview with me. Ask me what I can do. Don't ask me who I know. Ask me what I can do. And let me show you what I can do. And call my references. Call State of California, Highway Department of Transportation. Ask for Samson Toll. When I finish talking to you, you said that man I want. You will not even tell anybody else. I will just give you one person. Now all of the district that I work for, I will just give you one person. When the people finish telling you about me, you say that they want he even belong in America, he belong here. But that's not what we want. What we want in our country is to employ people that have no ability to do the work. You got look, and it's not just this government, CDC. When they were running campaign, when you look at the people that were running a campaign from CDC from the diaspora, you would think, say, oh, well, CDC win, no problem. Because many of these people, we know that they are capable. These people were very, very well trained, intelligent, highly educated, specialized in their area of work. And sedition. And they are sedition. So when the election happened, when CDC won with say a finish, CDC would take the mess Madam Sally left, CDC would take it and take it to a different level. I was in Liberia in January after the inaugural address. They went for the inaugural ball. I didn't go that night because I didn't want to waste my time. I knew nothing good was going to come out of it. But I knew some friends. I knew some relatives who were sedition. Family member left from here, went over there, hoping that they would see the light. They went there, they started charging. If you want specific job, certain job, you pay certain amount. The next day, after the inaugural program, we met to my sister's place. And from one person to another, about the day we met, I think about maybe 20, 25 of us at my sister's house I don't even know, but on Ralphie Highway. Let's put it this way. From one person to another, man, I pack in my thing tonight. I'm moving. I go and buy. They put on serious, man. I won't come pay that kind of money because I want to help. And these was people who are specialized in their area of work. What did the CDC do? They brought people on board that were unable to produce. And they got stuck. They were not moving. As a result, you have in CDC, you have one person. Yeah, Papa. Yeah. You say you know everything. Samuel 12, that is. The same thing happening here again in this government. Immediately after the election, where John Monu today, my people? Huh? John Monu were there? They're not seeing John Monu, the people are training around here in America. This man would redeem us. And every one of us got on this board because John Monu was part of that. And we were ready to see John Monu. We know when you have John Monu, we know We're not going to eliminate corruption, but the corrupt practices will be eliminated, will be brought down to a manageable level. What did they do? First thing, Amos 12, that night, he took it out on John Manu. How John Manu want to bring confusion among them, blah blah, all kind of thing. All John Manu was saying is, you want me to do a job? Give me the terms of reference. Tell me, Mr. Malu, this is the position. These are the requirements. I followed the requirement. And based on the requirement, I will also be transparent based on the information you're giving me. Then he said, bringing confusion. They left him behind. Amos 12 still serving Secretary General for Unity Party. Dr. Luther Tapper, Pastor Luther Tapper, Bishop Luther Tapper, Poke Luther Tapper. He's still serving as chairman of Unity Party, still working in the government. Double dipping power, forget it. Code of conduct, forget it. That's not your issue. These are all young people, my people. They are not old people. They're not like me. These are all young people. We saw how people, and they're still doing it. Young people are the ones that are more corrupt. Young people are the most, one of the people that name that coming up with corruption, all of them, they're not even 60-year-old yet. What happened to your friend? All of the Liberia is not your country alone. Not because Liberians in the diaspora now, then they are not part of the country anymore. No. But because of your corrupt behavior, these people have to work double to send money for their parents, their sister, their brothers, and their relatives to go to hospital. Not only in their own area. They have to go to hospital in different places because there's no clinic in their area because of your corrupt behavior. Who are we? Who are we? We're here. Samson told Labrador Pabrito, folks. This is it. And when I say these things, they say, well, you got to eat crow. No, I'm not eating crow. I am not here to say I regret. No, there's no regret here. I'm happy for what I did, and I'm happy to the result that I got. But at the same time, I will be truthful. Let me play this video. In Liberia, even during the coup, we didn't see the kind of stuff. People going into offices, busting door down. We didn't see that. Of course, people died. But let's play this video, folks. Samson told Liberia Pub Radio.
Yeah, we go.
This is Kofa office, folks. This is the Republic of Liberia, folks. They're not bounty hunter.
Yeah.
This is not because Planting Kofa did not pay the rent. It's not about that. Look at the wood, the damage. Look at the wood. And this is the country President Waka wants us to run by because we want to build. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's Capitol building. The building that y'all caught on fire recently. How insensitive are these people? They have no respect for the Liberian people. They have no respect for the electorate of the Republic of Liberia. People who in these offices were elected. Where is the court order? Where is the court order, people? Where is the court order? Where is the court order for you to do this to us? Where is the court order? And this is where you guys want Liberians. That player one says a Goya to go. Says a Goya to come over there to do what? So you will do the thing to him. That player you want Terry to go. That they play your one, the young Liberians who are struggle hard and put themselves in a position of respect, position of education. You want them to come over there. So you will do this to them because you don't agree with them politically. You're young. You're young. And many of you that are in this kind of thing. The thing is, the point here is this. In certain year, you will no longer be represented. We saw what happened to Jenkins Scott. Liberia, that one thing I like about the country, it can't be you with history. Will repeat the same thing over and over and over. But yet, as Comey would say, we want different result. Oh. For some reason, we just don't want to do what is done. Okay? But we continue to do these things to each other. We continue to do these things to each other. Republic of Liberia. So as the young people come over here, and I feel for them because they know they have a lot to contribute to the upliftment of their kinsmen back home. They have a lot. They have gone. There's no any. I will open the line tonight. Any Liberian man that will call or woman that will call anything good that they see, they want that thing to be in Liberia. Anything good when they walk in the street, they see people building the street nice. They, hey, why they want them doing like they think that can happen in Liberia? How much more about students as you go from class to class and you see some interesting thing lecture. You go to chemistry, you see some wow, they kind of think, what? If we do that kind of thing like well, people suffer. We're all going that through, and people are still doing it. But why is it? Why is it as we Liberians ourselves are unable to recognize these things? President Baka, even if the country is corrupt, it is not President Baka who paying people to come and be corrupt. It's not President Baka who is asking people to come. Then the people say, oh, but any man made a statement say the people were corrupt. You come from your mom's stomach. Because President Baka say go steal. That's why you go steal. Tell me now. You come from your mom's stomach. All the time you're in a war. Your only duty that God put you in this war is to listen to President Baka and say go steal before you go steal. What kind of sense does it make? But those are the people, those are the kind of argument we have. Okay. So this is what we have. I just show you Frantikova office. And what Frantikova has done, and what these people don't realize, including this government, President Baka. President Baka will have to answer to this. He's going to have to explain. And we know if President Baka is not going to seek re-election, I feel bad for Kum. Kum, you can't Nimba County alone, they're not going to get a vote. But here's what most likely people are going to go and they're going to have to explain themselves. Where were you? What were your statement? What did you say? Is this something you endorse? Don't tell me, say, what happened in the lower house has nothing to do with us in the upper house, or I'm a vice president, I'm an executive, and you're not a senior executive that sent people to sit in front of Kum when the battle was still being debated. You can't excuse yourself now. But I don't blame you. Politician in Liberia, I don't blame you. Young Liberia, and the sad thing is, and it's very sad, many of the voters are still in their early 30s. So that means they have another 30 to 40 years to go. And here's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing. This is a thing during the campaign, 2020 campaign. This is what I used to be on Liberia. I used to be on radio in Zwatru almost every day. And the same thing I said, you people, you're sending up there. In 4 to 5 years, your kids will be abroad going to school. Why you and your children because they got nothing to offer you. All they have for you right now is to buy you baby top, wash tub, to buy you chicken soup, to buy you aqua oil, and a cup of rice. And after the election, they're not going to do it every day. But in the meantime, whatever money they make, they send their kids abroad. And the kids will come back and your kid will be on them. It's nothing going to change. Nothing going to change. The coup broke that spell. The coup broke that spell. But Liberians themselves, the indigenous Liberians themselves, decide now to repeat that process. So those who continue to enjoy, their family will be at the top, and those who are suffering, their family will be at the bottom. Why? Because those, and here's an interesting thing. You can't tell me now those people who are behaving and stealing, they are Congo people. I'm sorry to use the word Congo because I don't believe in that anymore, but they are Congo people. No. No. These are people that were born in the villages of Liberia. Some of them village after village after village of Liberia. And they come to power by manipulating the system, by controlling the system, and telling their friends, I will do this, I will. Then when they get there, they mention out here for 9 years. After 9 years, I'm making what 7,000, 8,000 or whatever dollar a month. After 9 years, I should be enough in Monrovia. Than not America where you pay mortgage. Than not America where you pay rent. How do you call it? A light bill, everything. Everybody that is stealing light, including the big shot, everyone that's stealing light. That what they do, that's their job. How do we get here? And how can we get out of this? Folks, Samson told Labron Paparito, solution after this commercial. Okay, let's go on with the solution. Let me bring in Mose, who's joining us here. Mose, turn your camera around. There we go. There we go. Now you photo the whole place now. Thank you.
How you doing, Libra?
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
Time of time made nobody come today.
Oh, I enjoy myself.
Yeah, I saw you enjoy yourself. I said, let me join him and enjoy small too. You see Suake Terry coming in?
Thank you, thank you. Now solution time. You guys are coming to help me to find a solution. No, but on a very serious note.
Yeah.
I just showed Flanty Kofa office being broken down today. It's very sad. But the interest in it, and like as I was saying here, I feel sorry for the likes of Collins and Sissy Goya. These are young people that have when they came here, they said the first thing if some of them were saying, in Liberia or they play or in Africa or in Guinea, one day I'll be lucky if I can make $5 So I come here now. Let me be broke for another 4 years, educate myself. And they did those things. Go see the houses they're living in. Go see the car they ride. Go see their job. However, with all that enjoyment, and I'll put that question to Terry right now. All that enjoyment, Mose, with all that enjoyment they having here, now one day, why you think Terry on the show every day? Because he like Rob is there? He's here every day because if you're going to give Terry the opportunity right now, where he lives in Minnesota, the state of Minnesota, if you make Liberia like that, Monrovia like that, Terry say, you know what? I got enough. I'm going home. Every one of us will go to Liberia. But where you going to go in Monrovia when it's flooding, when it rains, you can't even move. Monrovia, the city of Monrovia, and I did some engineering over this. The city of Monrovia is higher than the sea level. Some of the lower spot, it's like maybe 6, 7 feet high. Now, when you go places like Dugo Hotel, you're talking about almost 20, 35 feet higher.
Yep.
Why is it Monrovia is flooded? Crown Hill, is higher than sea level. Why is it Morea is higher? Even Broad Street is higher than the sea level. Why is it we're having flood issue? Because of us. But let I gave you people a lot of problem. Let's get into the fixes. Terry, thank you for joining me. Moses, let's hear from you. What do you think, if you've been listening now, what do you think the fix would be? How do we get these things to be fixed? Including the political issue that I just showed with Flantikova. In fact, let's do this. What's on your mind? Let's go ahead.
There are a lot of things on my mind, and I hope we don't get into that because I want to stay with what you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
So
let's stay with
focus
that.
on that. As far as going back home, there are many of us who's been here for years now.
Your voice is low, Moses. Your voice is very low.
Can you hear me?
Much better. Go ahead.
Okay. I said, when we talk about going back home, we're not looking to take America to Liberia. We're looking for a little bit of respect and rule of law and a little bit of honesty will make a lot of people go back home. Even with the present condition, there are people who going back home. I know a young couple, very young, in their mid-30s. They were here with good job, paying them 6 figures. They packed all their stuff, put their house on rent, and they're now in Liberia. They're making their own farm. They're not looking for government. And these are learned people. The only thing they ask for is, law and order and security. So if that, or the minimum, is provided, there are a lot of people who will go home to invest and try to help that country. And while they're there, they've already employed 3 individuals working in their homes. So that's 3 families that they're feeding and provide resources to, or livelihood to, for them to work and sending their kids to school. You see, so the whole issue of going back home, we don't want to go back home. We don't want we don't want Liberia to turn to America before we go home. We're prepared to go home with the little things that we have and that we've earned here through our work. And even Social Security, there are a lot of Liberian people who didn't invest in 401k, some did, and, in extra retirement. But those that are only receiving Social Security can live like kings and queens on Social Security benefit. And so those are things that we really need to talk about. As far as the flooding in the country, the 14 years of civil war and the recovery effort, all of those drainages are clogged. The water, like you said, there was no flood on Broad Street ever when I was growing up as a kid. The only place I think we observed a little bit of flood, that was a little bit in Boozy Quarter before they constructed those huge Sony drainages going to the beach in the back. And the cement on both sides from all the way merry-go-round going there, coming from Newport Street in the back there. That was the only place that used to flood. Even Jalatown, like you said, the water thing, it was difficult for Jalatown to get flood, even with heavy rain. And they built the road going through Jalatown. So now to see the city that at a higher level, like you said, which is true, Broad Street, Crown Hill, and Ducal getting flooded, is amazing. It's amazing. And we just need not to have some natural disaster there because it's not going to be easy. And we've been blessed. That country is blessed. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, let's move on with the show.
Let's hear from you, Terry. I'm not too sure whether you are listening to me, but what's on your mind? If you are listening to me, you want to contribute to the fix that I'm talking about here, that'll be fine. Go ahead. Let's hear from you, and then we're going to go around by asking each question from one person to another.
Yeah, there are so many factors, Liberal, that is responsible for Liberians in the diaspora or the diaspora to not go back home, especially from the war, the devastation of the war. Some people are still hurt for what happened to them. Some people lost a lot of things. Some family people have their children here, blah, blah, blah. But all in all, every Liberian who came to America at a certain age would love to go back home because your country is your country. The food, the freshness of the country, being in the country alone, the way it make you feel, and all of that. And but you can't go back home without having a suitable environment to live in. With the present situation in the country, it is really unsafe to go back home permanently. It is somehow unsafe. And I know this statement will be sounding somehow, but looking at the present condition in the country, there are so many factors that will guarantee that your safety is not 100% guaranteed. As a matter of fact, your safety is not 100% guaranteed in no part of the world, but at least to some extent, at least it's guaranteed when you are in countries like maybe America or other advanced countries around the world, because they provide stable electricity, they got water, you have security that you can trust, that when something happens, when you call, you will get help and all the kind of thing. So based upon those facts, it's easy for you to say you can return back to such place. But as it stands, Liberia is still in a position where it's not safe enough for a person who want to go back home to invest. Now, a person who want to go back home to retire, like what Mr. Moses said, is true. You want to retire, going back home would be economical for you than staying in America, because you stay here, when you old, you will suffer. They're going to put you somewhere where you ain't got nobody to talk to. You just there, the people just can't take care of you, blah, 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 and you will be paying a lot of money. But when you're retiring, you go back home, you lay down on your farm. Soon in the morning, everybody will come. You can talk to people from in the morning to the next day. You will have people to talk to, even when you don't have current. But every month, you get your 1,500 US to take care of you. You fine. But now for people who want to make progress, going back home, for me, what I believe is a risk. The risk involved is higher, than it's higher. You got a high risk going back home to make progress or to invest. So I think the government need to create that environment if they want for Liberians to return home and all of that. But my attention was really drawn to the way the media run information in the country is not correct. I sense media sabotaging a lot, which is not good. Media sabotaging.
But give us an instant. Give us an example here.
Where media sabotaging and how you call it, journalist sabotaging, wherein people just take, like, for example, I was just listening to one recording. Somebody recorded one of the judges, and one of the judges on the Supreme Court bench, and he was making some statements in regards to why they did not attend the SONA, and somebody recorded it, and I think they posted it. I think the Musa Ability or one of them posted it, Judge Bessie, and he stated why he did not attend the SONA, and in his analogy, he gave the reason. That is media sabotaging, because you take information.
This was the conversation. This was the conversation the judge were having.
Right.
And it was recorded.
Okay,
so does that fact, the fact that the recording was done, does that make the statement untrue?
No, it doesn't make the statement true.
But what do you have?
Could be a
the fact that the recording was being played?
Yeah, it could be many things. It could be a deformation of character or whatsoever. Like, you recall somebody with all them knowing and you put it on there.
But the judge, have you read anywhere where the judge had come out to complain?
No, the judge has not spoken. He has not denied the recording. Okay. Neither have he spoken.
The reason I'm asking you on this, I think the guy came out. He was in public when he made that statement. It was not done in his bedroom.
Oh,
It
but
was in a
it was
public
not
forum. It was
it
in a
was not a
public
press
gathering.
conference. Was it a conference or was it a press conference? Was it a statement that he wanted to make publicly for everybody to hear, or he was making the statement confidentially?
No, if you want to, there's so many. Terry, the justices, they're the people, and I think Moses can speak to that. The justices, those are the most secretive people in the whole of the country, the Republic of
Right.
Liberia. There are some stuff that they discuss behind the bench that we still yet to hear anything. So if
Okay.
he wanted those type of conversation to stay within him and within his among his colleague, that statement would have been made before about that statement should have been made in the confidence of his colleague. But they'll come out in what I be in a gas station. And for you to make that kind of statement, knowing these days what we have, social media
But
and things
where
like
was
that.
it made? Where was
No,
it?
I know it wasn't made in the house. It wasn't made in his bedroom.
Obviously, it was made in a confidentiality.
Well, we
In a
don't know that. We don't know that. I don't want us. I don't want us to
because he
jump
have
into that.
not spoken to it.
Well,
None
but
of the judges
if it was
whatsoever has
something
spoken.
that perhaps it was not meant to be released, I'm sure by now he would have complained about it, and then you would know that it wasn't meant to be released. But anyway, let's leave that. Let's leave that. Let me ask you that before I go back to Moses. Let me ask you this other question: why is it that most of the people that are being accused of corrupt behavior are all young? Most of them are young. What's the reason behind this, from your own perspective?
It's a generational transfer, liberal. It's a cycle.
Generational transfer of corruption?
Yeah.
Yes, it's generational transfer.
So we're transferring a good thing to you guys.
What you teach your child, and what the child see you doing, and what the child will do.
The one
my
you
partner
you open your us again tonight for Alfonso to come here and say the Papa say he blessed them, he encouraged. But let me go back to Moses. Moses, what this corrupt behavior that is happening with these young people? What do you think is behind that? Is it because they were poor when they got into power, position of power, or is it just something that is inherent within us as Liberians?
Well, my response to it is that in everything that you do, there should be consequences.
You're low, Moses. You got to get, yeah.
Everything that happens, there has to be consequences. And I think that we've learned over time, and you were around when Torba was there, and when Torba came and he talked about higher heights, total involvement, and all that stuff. He was somebody who really wanted to get rid of.
But let me hold you to that 1 minute, please. Hold your thought. But let me hold you to that, and I'll bring this thing up because perhaps you can. You think what Torba then used to do, putting a glass booth between Camp Johnson Road and Benson Street for people to put money in there overnight. The money stay for 1 or 2, 3, 4 days before somebody. You think we can do that today?
No, we can't. No, we can't.
Okay. But you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead. Because there used to be a glass booth.
Correct.
Where people used to put money inside. And
Absolutely.
the glass booth stayed there 2, 3, 4 days before people go and collect the money.
Correct.
Nobody touches at night.
Yes.
Well, go ahead, make your comment.
Because there were consequences to people's action, and you were held accountable. But when we look at today, since the post-war, we see that corruption has gained more. In fact, when the coup happened, you were there, and people were saying, "Oh, the poor corrupt and this and that and all that stuff like that." But I can tell you, Torba had put in strategy, and he was tactical on what he was doing to try to minimize corruption. And that's why today he's down as one of the best presidents Liberia ever had. So when we look at today's world, and like Terry said, they say monkey see, monkey do. And people grew up understanding, and we see, listen, we do not prosecute or hold people accountable for corruption. Instead, we credit them for being corrupt. Now, how many persons you see in the legislative body that have been involved in corruption today and were voted into office? Those are the questions, those are the rhetorical questions we need to ask. And it will have to be, because when they go out and they're running for office, they leave the country, steal money, okay? And they will be helpful. They know that these people are involved in corruption. They will leave for a while. After 2-3 years, they come back and people welcome them as heroes. Why? Because they're going to go have a party and give people food to eat. They get in there and people get to the airport and they got people there. They just call 2-3 person. Oh, this person come here. Everybody gravitate to the airport. And that's what happens in poverty. When you got 90-some% of your people living in poverty. It is terrible. But in order to stop this, you have to hold the people responsible on the top. It has to stop from the top to the bottom. It can't start to the bottom up.
So thank you. Let me ask you this, Terry, and I'll be very blunt. Not that we're beating the war drum, but if these things continue like that, do you see us getting back to 89, 1990 type deal? If these kinds of behavior continue like this, where just few people continue to enrich themselves, and those who are suffering continue to suffer, do you see Liberia taking law into their own hand and try to eradicate these kinds of behavior? Do you see that, or is that something that we just have to live with?
Well, I think there are so many factors that can lead to war, and one of those factors have to do with international interference. So I think it's not going to be easy, but there could be disruption of protests here and there, people destroying properties here and there for a little bit, but a continuation for a major crisis that will lead to war I think Liberia will not be able to.
So let me go through your statement then. The protestation that you're talking about happening, and the government comes up with heavy hand, people die, hundreds of people die. The government comes in, try to put down the protest, hundreds of people die. What then?
Well, hundreds of people dying from the government side could lead to some insurrection, but then who will fuel that insurrection? It has to be fueled by some external force. And the bordering, once the government have good rapport with Guinea, with Sierra Leone, and all of that, there can be some control. But the only place I think an insurrection can derive from and might be a coup will be from the military. The military could rise up if they are not treated with respect, if they are not treated like Mr. Sikwe said, respect, if they are not treated with honor, if they don't like the way they are being treated. Remember now, you can't continue to put a chain on a shepherd neck and keep it in the house. One day it's going to bite you because you continue it continuously. That is why in America they can walk the dog to free it up. So the military that you see you got over there, you're doing all kind of tabata. I saw them today. Some of them, their faces were looking very mean, or they look like they are ready for anything. My question would be to the government: how well are you taking care of your military? Because if any insurrection occur that will be sustained for a longer period of time to topple the government, will come from the military. That military, I see, they don't look happy. To have a stable society, you need to be, I don't know how to put it. You need to have a military that is in your corner. And I don't think this government is doing much. Same with CDC. They never respected the military. And the military sat by and watched them eating millions of dollars. And those military guys, you see, they have never been in battle. They have never been in action. Many of them really want to see action. And remember the coup. The coup came from the military. And these were people that were overlooked. These were people that was not even that much educated. But when the insurrection took place, the military was being used to carry on the insurrection. That might happen in Liberia. It might. If this government continue to overlook the plights of the people and overlook a major or tabletop issues that have to do with security and all the kind of thing, there might be an insurrection, but it will not come from where people are thinking. It might come from the security apparatus. You meet it.
Thank you. Terry, let me go to Moses. Moses, talk to us from a security perspective on the same subject matter. Please don't change it. thread the needle for us from a security analysis standpoint.
Okay.
If this, and I'm saying if, and a big if the corrupt behavior continue like this, where people are taking, snapping up some money that's supposed to go to military, that's supposed to go to places and things like that, and people are using it for themselves and what have you. What Terry is suggesting, or seem to be saying, which is something that we all need to pay attention to, but is it even possible in Liberia anymore?
Well, it is possible. And the reason why I say that is because look what happened. I think it was 16 days in the new administration. The country was under siege, allegedly, by military women, military wives. At that time, in any secure community or country, the security threats would have been raised to the top level. But in Liberia, because our people are not sophisticated to that level, they rather didn't pay attention to the security. And you see, these are based on things that happen when you don't respond to it or you don't become proactive. It will happen continuously until the big boom.
Right.
Like until the big boom happens and you're totally not ready for it. So that's why you see people look at proactive initiatives, and every time they see a level of security threat, they got to say something. Following that, there was another protest. Then we had the motorcycles when they told them to get off the street. They had an uprising, they got in the street again. When they tried to direct them to do some civility, some civil responsibility on where to run. There were a little uprising there, but the group was little. And these are things that could escalate. Liberia does not have a security threat level system. Certain things happen, and it's either red, yellow, green, and we don't have that because we're not sophisticated enough to know the level of security and the height of security and the threat of security in our country. When these women took over the UNE block, it was done simultaneously. That means that in Monrovia, on Ralphie Highway, all the way in the interior, there were people that came out. And it was done simultaneously. So that was not something that was not planned. It was orchestrated, it was thought about, it was planned, and it was executed effectively. And nothing, no one paid attention to it. And I think I brought it up in this on the broadcast before. These are things from the security level that needs to be looked at. And I can tell you, if the people, all the people you see on the street, if they were a little sophisticated, there are a lot of things that they could do. I don't want to give them ideas. There are a lot of things that they could. No, seriously.
They gotta pay for it.
There are a lot of things they can do, and it will see. You got a country that has only two-way out of all the officials are in one location. That's all I can say. All the officials are in one location. How difficult is that to do something? How difficult? So we need to look at security from a different perspective. The people don't want another war in Liberia, uprising, a riot that are going to turn violent. When I was a little boy, one of the reasons, in fact, the people respected the soldiers than the police. It was alleged that April 14, the police were the one who was shooting at civilians, and the soldier came to their rescue. You're on mute. You're muted, sir.
Ice me. I was there.
I was there. So I was
1979.
right there in Boozer Quarter.
Yeah.
And
Oh, but by the time we got to Busa, one thing already happened. We started
they
from.
didn't go. They didn't take Camp Johnson Road all the way up to Capitol Hill. They
Yeah.
went in the back of Boozer Quarter.
Right.
The crowd.
And the potato. We were using potato green
Yeah.
to take
To
the tear
wipe
gas
our
from our
faces.
eyes.
Yep.
But
So-
anyway, let me go back. Let me go
so-
back
so-
to. Let me go back. Let me go back to Terry. Terry,
Yeah.
as young as you are, talk to me a little bit. How do we avoid this thing so that your young people's life will be better, more than what we had? How do we avoid this thing? Do we go back and next election hire a younger generation to lead the entire process, or do we go back to the old guy again and bring them back on? Say that perhaps because of their experience. What do we do from here on? How do we avoid this thing? Talk to me, my brother.
But the problem is, are we going to reach there first to to that time? Given the fact that if we don't careful looking at all these things that are going on, we will be even able to reach to 2029.
Let's just suppose we get there.
Yeah. But if we will get there, will that be the means by which our problem will be solved if we go for another person, a new guy? Because like even the Mr. Cummings I was thinking about the other time I was watching some kind of replay on him. He said everybody in the country is connected one way or the other. So I'm thinking like, who can we bring to change the narrative? All right. Who can we find to change the narrative? Who if we even say by and say
So I don't mean to interrupt. Next week, I think we need to have a program here 2 days straight, and just go down the list of
right.
politicians, and we just dissect them. Go ahead.
So we do need a radical change. But whether if that radical change depends squarely only on the president, I would say no. The radical change have to also be initiated from us, the Liberians. We got to first want the change, and we have to start making the change from our very, very own communities. All right. But then again, it will be very difficult because we do not have a system in the country that is like I was saying to somebody the other day. I said the reason why if President Boga is not careful, he's going to fail is because his first priority was corruption, the fight against corruption. So if he fails against the fight against corruption, then he failed. Because corruption, according to him, is a cancer. It eats the fabric of the. So if you have all these big projection and plans and you are not able to fight corruption, then it means that all the big plans you have will definitely not be successful because corruption will suck it in. And you will not be successful because you yourself said it, that corruption destroys the fabric of the country. So it will hinder your ability to make progress. And Liberia want to make progress. Can President Boka be the one to change it? We thought he could, but given the fact that he's not going to be running 2029, he's showing all the signs right now that he only won one term. Tells me that he is setting up himself to fail because he's not going to be able to fight corruption. He's not going to be able to reconcile the country. So what he going to do? Hopefully, maybe he's going to change the the agricultural setting in the country. Will that solve Liberia's problem? It might in some instances, but yet it won't. So how do we solve it? We need a leader that is robust, a leader that will say, look, I will put my foot down and handle this thing from the start on to initiate a strategy that he would be able to tackle corruption, especially in the hierarchy among his cabinet members. We need a robust leader. That the only way the country can change labor. And also it needs to be initiated from us. We got to
Thank you.
start the ball rolling.
Thank you. I'll come back to Mose on this one, but let me play the video again, and then I'll come to you, Mose, from and wrap it up. Political discussion, wrapping it with the tail end from a security analyst position. You ready? All right, let's go ahead. Here we go.
There we go.
This is Flantikova office.
Yeah.
Okay, Moses is not with us.
I'm with you. I just
I think he's trying to find it.
I'm
Okay, all right. We'll come to you, Moses. When you're ready, just come in.
The door is locked. We're trying to open the door. The door is locked. Huh?
Okay. I don't see. Okay, Moses is back. Moses, are you with us?
yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
All right. Go ahead. Give us your take on this one, and talk to us on two fronts:
Yeah.
political front, and wrap it up at the tail end based on on your own security analysis position on this one.
You see, the thing about it is that in Liberia, people that are elected into office are given absolute power. They think they're so powerful politically that they are untouchable. And I think we've gone through that many years now. And people need to understand, especially when you're in an elected opposition, like a representative, and you take over as speaker, you still have the responsibility to the people to serve the people. The people elected you not to rule them, but to serve them, to lead them. And I think we have serious leadership issue. That what's been exhibited in that video is just mind-boggling for me at political level and security level. Because we've given, and mind you now, it was just a few months before that process took its place, I think a month or two, when the very fanatic Kofa were walking in the Capitol building and they were singing happy birthday. They had dressed the place up and they were celebrating his birthday. I think it was a month prior to this whole saga that the very people were celebrating him as the top political leader in that building, Speaker of the House of Representatives. And that having the authority, giving the authority, that's what Stan Lee said in Spider-Man movie. With great powers come great responsibility. You have responsibility to adhere to the people who give you that power, to represent them to the fullest. And like I said, all the things we're talking about need to start from the top and work your ways from the bottom. We can't go and expect people from the bottom to bring about the change that needs to happen, the political change. It has to start from the top because they see your behavior, and your behavior will determine whether the people follow you as the leader.
Right.
And that's what we're lacking in Liberia. We lack serious leadership. And I'm not sure if anybody has gone through any leadership training to understand that are within the leadership, and they have retreat and all that stuff. They only talk about issues. They never have retreat about leadership, how to become a good leader. In other countries, developing countries, they have retreat where people go in only to talk about how they can be better leaders. I don't think we've had one. Now, let's look at the security aspect of it. That building is a public building. Why is that door sealed to the point that it should take those people that long to break the door? Take, for instance, what if you have fire in the building and the speaker, God forbid, was in his office and they didn't even know the fire was on the second floor? How would people enter there to evacuate him with the door sealed up like that? I went there years ago and I walked in the vice president's office and they only had one exit from the office. You only have one exit door. You're muted, sir. You're muted.
I say every exit come bring you right back out into the auditorium over there.
Correct. Into the corridor. One passageway in that Capitol building. So for you to secure the door where they're taking them that amount of time to break the door, break through the door, you see, that's your building. That's the people's building. Yes, you need security. That's why we're strong about having Capitol Police, because people need to, you can walk right into that building and no one asks you questions because they're not trained to even suspect whether you're bringing something or to even scam you to see if you're bringing weapons. I've been there a few times. That's a government building entity. That's why we need to train Capitol Police to be over all government facilities to provide security. And
Let me hold you there. Let's bring in Terry. Terry, give us your own perspective. I'm not too sure what angle you're going to be taking, but give us your perspective on this here.
Well, Liberal, we expect this to happen. It's not a strange thing. And I think for Nati Kofa want to score political points on this. And the government is not smart enough to observe all
Did he succeed? Did Flanty Kofa succeed?
He succeeded to score political points. That was his intention, and that is what he did. He waited until they break the door. You heard what he said before? He said that he said he suspect that they're going to go and do the illegal thing as the way they did to him before and all of that. So he intentionally did that because he knew that they was coming. And the signal it sends politically is that it sends a bad signal on the government that it sends a bad signal on the government because the justice minister, as I heard, he gave the order for them to break down the door. And the justice minister is in a different branch of government. According to Colette or whosoever, they say the justice minister getting the authorization that they should evict the speaker. But then the journalist asked Colette, were you not supposed to get a court order for this to carry on? So he said the court is in a different branch of government and they are in a different branch of government. So they are responsible to handle the matters of this magnitude their way according to their laws. So they are dealing with it according to their law. So I'm yet to see a law that gave them the rights to evict a guy who they classified to not be speaker occupying the speaker's position. So since they wrote him several times for him to move, that he should vacate the premises, and he refused, they had no option but to break the door down. So where I'm caught between the scissors as to whether if what they did is right according to the rules or wrong according to the law. So we must also take into consideration that the position Fonati Kofa occupies is he occupied that position by the rules and regulations of the legislature. So if they have their own rules as to how to remove the speaker, and they did remove the speaker, government working with them, blah, 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 they're also now going to be vacant. But even if they were right, politically, the optics does not look good. And internationally, how will we be credited? How will we be credited by the international community? How will we be looked at? How will they grade us when it comes to the function of the rule of law? How will we be graded on the international scale when they can see, everybody in the world can see that this, we got our legislature on the day of the Armed Forces Day breaking the door of a former speaker or embattled speaker.
Thank
And in
you.
fact,
Let me just
Let me come to you, Mose. I'll be specific on this, and you can address it generally, or you can be specific as well. So, quite recently, the government of the Republic of Liberia allegedly was accused of torture by a certain group with the same that are also linked to this fire issue, that are also linked to Flanti Kofa and what have you. Now you have the government. It doesn't matter whether it's first branch, second branch, third branch, doesn't matter. But government of the Republic of Liberia are now the member of the government of the Republic of Liberia are now using force to open the speaker door. So those who accuse the government of torture, do they have some sort of legs up now, or some sort of second eyes looking at their allegation, or you think that we should separate the allegation of torture from the act of this representative?
I think it should be two different issues, totally separated. They're not one of the same. Number one is that the Representative Colette was very open today with the press, and he talked about the letters, as Collins Terry said, that were forwarded to Fanati based on the rules. Based on the rules, they wrote them over 3 times to turn over the office. The office happens to not be his personal office. It's the office of the speaker. He has yet to go to attend a plenary. He has not attended any.
Let me hold you right there. Even if it is the rule, these people, you will agree that they also have their own security, whether you respect the security system or not, or whether they are functioning or not, but they do have their own security.
Okay.
Don't you think that perhaps that particular act should have been turned over to the security apparatus of the Capitol building to carry on that specific act, with being ordered by the speaker? Or
What
you think the act that was carried out by the representative, was that part of his functional to
Well,
break down the door?
he's the chairman.
Okay,
yes.
so as a chairman of the committee, is that
He-
part of the rule that they have the responsibility to break down the door?
If they're gonna go execute, he has to be present.
Okay,
Right.
so if
So
he has
give
to be present,
authority to do that.
okay. So the folks that were breaking down the door, did you see them wearing uniform, or those are plain clothes officer from the
Well,
from the?
there were officers there in, I think, khakis.
Yeah, I understand that.
They were
But
there.
those who were carrying, I understand that.
Yes.
But here, for example, you in a security
Yeah.
apparatus, you're in part of the security group.
Yeah.
Those kinds of stuff, those particular act,
Yeah.
if that act was to be carried out, was it not supposed to be carried out by the uniform officer?
Well,
Whatever branch they come from?
well, the thing about it is that if we look at this country,
Aaron, just 1 minute. Let Mose land, and I'll come to you, please. Go ahead.
you see, the thing about it is that here, when we go to eviction, here it's almost the same thing. The constable come in, not police officer come in. The constable come in and they do the eviction. They will bring the eviction notice, give it to you first, but then someone will come in and they will bring private. They usually bring people, private companies, who are trained to do that kind of work, to open it up. So, not knowing the system in Liberia, I cannot speak to whether those guys were security officers or non-security officer, but they were given the authority by the president of the chairman of that committee to break down the door. And he has the authority to do that. You're muted, sir. You're muted.
I said thank you. Let me take this caller here. The
Okay.
two caller on. We'll come back to you, and you will wrap it up for us. Aaron, go ahead, Mr. Burper.
Yeah, how you guys doing, Mr. Toe?
I'm just drinking water. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, let me speak to what Mr. Moses was just talking about. That they wrote the speaker 2-3 letters, and he took the kid to the office, and he never left the office. So, Mr. Moses, one thing you fail to realize that is the speaker is the speaker. He was never removed from office. Okay? He was never removed from office. You sitting over there, you pay, let's say for instance, you pay your mortgage or your rent in the United States. And, a judge sent a letter to you say, oh, you didn't pay your rent. So you should turn the office over. Will you turn the house over? Will you take a proof to the judge and tell the judge, say, oh, Your Honor, this is my house. This is my payment. This is my payment receipt.
Okay.
Isn't that what you're going to do? But you said over there talking about the Senate Speaker. Who did send the Speaker letter? Who did? Because the executive branch recognized them, or the Senate. Every one of them, both the Senate, the member of the Senate that recognized them, and the executive branch, they are all working together. They are all working together. All of them voted in the first place for Richard Kuhn to become Speaker. And he got defeated by Fonate Kofa. So to sit on the platform as a criminal justice professional and say what you say, I think that being unfair to the Nigerian people.
Thank you.
There was no legitimate letter from the judge's office or from any eviction company that went to the speaker and said, oh, you got to leave your office. But the same majority black. So the same majority black whose attitude is ultra-virus, that the same people sending letter around, everything these guys doing are illegal. The president knows about it. The rescue people in the Senate knows about it. And we who in the United States or in developed country who know how things run, we should be able to come to this platform or to this discourse and tell people, look, this is not right.
Okay.
Regardless of political affiliation or party affiliation.
Thank you.
What is right is right.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. You will take hearing your question. You will answer it. But thank you, Aaron. We appreciate it.
Why are you fighting Mr. Sigbe for? Why are you
Okay.
fighting?
Next caller in line. Go ahead. You're next in line. Yes.
I think the other gentleman, Mose and Jared.
Yeah.
My name is
Hold on, Ambrose. Hold on, please. Just merge this here. The one will generate a lot of call tonight. Go ahead, Ambrose. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I don't agree with Terry on a lot of stuff. Terry said a lot of scary things. Terry said a lot of things that concern. But we gotta say the truth to save our country. What Colette did today is embarrassing. If even you get the right, we live in a civil war. That thing, you not just look at one image that this is really being seen in Liberia. It's being broadcast all around the world, all around the world. We see the type of thing, and it's embarrassing. And the matter has not yet really come to closer to say, oh yeah, we have finally come to a closer to this to say, oh yeah, the speaker can be removed. And even if he wants to remove the speaker, go get a court order or let the people, the sergeant of arms from the House of Representatives, do the work. That's why you're the chairman. If you authorize the guys that you have over there who do it, you're being over there.
Okay.
And if anything come up, you can come and back then. And Mr. Tor, it's embarrassing. Labra will not go nowhere. And I know this is a topic you never discussed it. Dillon was having a sort of tip of Dillon interviewing the fire director, asking him about the $4 million that were put in the budget for them to buy a fire truck. But it will baffle your mind. The same senator that was supposed to be questioning the man to press him to find out what he did with the money was when the same senator there trying to stop Dillon from asking that man how he spent the money to buy the fire truck and the fire material. How embarrassing that can be. Because I think all of them was in the money, so they're trying to defend the guy. How you can say, yeah, I received the $4 million, and they don't say, oh, how you spend it? What happened? You know about the fire truck? he started saying, oh, finance, so everything. And his colleagues then that's what they say, press it to say, oh, but explain to her, you put it in the budget and you receive the money. What up to that poor house is burning and you have that buy the fire truck? Well, you know, the prayer is heading to the Bible and it's getting embarrassing for Joseph Parker.
Thank you.
Someone will never support Joseph Parker, but the way the prayer is heading now, then what Terry say, I feel that scary because talking about so they have to eat like bro. It's a scary thing. Nobody want that in like bro.
Thank you.
That's what happened.
Thank you. Those are we're here speculating tonight based on what we're seeing.
No,
Okay.
No. It's a speculation, but you can see it. Terry is a poor government supporter, but he said he saw look at the African and says they don't look happy.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not saying what Terry saying is true or Terry is saying that we're going to happen, but that's how the country little by little start going to little a bad situation.
Thank you.
The rating is on. Look at what happened to the roof farm. They talk about almost somebody taking almost $500,000. You can't and number one company somebody took what happened? What you kind of start taking almost $500,000 to renovate that stupid building. How you're spending the country money like that? Only few people get the right to the money.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. All right. So next caller in line. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? This is Florida, David. I'm calling from Chicago.
Thank you, Mr. David. I think I need to do a special show on Saturday where you'll be off, and so you can join us on the radio. But go ahead.
Okay, my contribution to this show tonight, the way our country is going, I don't think is correct. Because this country, like you saw the 14-year civil war. Listen to I thank God that some of you people were here during the war time. We were there, we saw things. I was working in a facility under the rebel control area that was sponsored by NGO Mercy Saint Partier. And the civilian men who were carrying oil to the Ghana to sell when he stepped on the Ekoma mouth, they brought our men to the clinic. And the rebel general from NPSL, March in 1986, because our men were taking information to Ekoma, he executed our men, the person, the patient, everybody. Brought it. So if we have seen things like that is happening, if they do go back to any crisis, it will be a worse disaster in our country. And politicians, listen, let me say this, for the chief of issues started newly, I've never said it. I said these are two sons for the same area, fighting for the same position. Where are the others for the areas? Where are the others? This thing is getting so frustrating because I can remember when the former Senator Nathan Piaget said that he was getting prepared to take to Sano to introduce to Sano. I got scared. I said, let's see, we're in process one of these days. And we are pushing to the process gradually. Because no little, for the team may be patient, but the supporter may not have our patient no more. It's not good for our country. The country people suffer in our country. Terror was talking about the military. We are not wishing for anything to happen in our country. We pray for the peace of our nation. But my question here tonight, we have an elder man who is serving as a president of the country. If he does see, because listen to the setup of what I see, why we're making. If you not see the way the country is going,
independent voice.
It's getting scary, Mr. Joe.
Thank you.
We need to pray for our because the fact that they matter, these are two crewmen who are fighting for one position. And another crewman said as a justice minister. So the politicians know how to play the game because today the justice minister not from North Carolina, from Nima, but the justice minister is another crewman.
Thank you.
And the two are fighting for a speaker position. They are two crew people. So what happened to the people for the Saki?
But I'm on my knee every day praying, as usual. I pray every day before I open a show, and God is listening. There will be no problem in our country. But thank you.
Yeah, I can't agree. That is right.
Okay.
Oh my God! Come on now.
I think you are very straight to the point tonight. We should start the get here to be educating most of our people in the country because the energy breaker in our country, everybody will be a loser because we have found never there. We have property in our country. We pray for the peace of our life. Thank you, Mr. Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, that will be the end of the call tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. CEO, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What will be your closing, sir?
With the power to vest in me using my executive
what
order.
power? You come here again.
Hold on.
I don't say anything tonight. You come here again.
Hold on. Do you want to give me?
Okay, let me take this caller then. Let me take him real quick. Walter Carter, go ahead. The CEO is he's on the floor, but go ahead, make it quick so he can come in.
Never come on the show.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, hi. Mr. Todd is important, and these guys flagging stuff in the corners are concerned. They tell you how concerned Liberians are all over the world, and even in Liberia. You know, when we talk about this president, you think we just hate him, we don't want him to succeed. The vindictiveness of this president will cause our country to go down the drain. And the sooner we say to him, maybe his supporters, you guys who gave him the power to do what he's doing, the sooner he'll start to recognize it and start to say to him, maybe he will change, it will save our country.
Thank you.
This man took Fanatikofa. Fanatikofa looked up to the president as a father. He said, I will work with him. He went against his party mandate to work along with the executive to do everything in the interest of Liberia. This man planned from day one that he never wanted Fanatikofa, but Fanatikofa never knew the president was going to be like that. When Fanatikofa was running to be speaker, they started to bring all kinds of dirt on him. It seemed great. And right after he became speaker, what happened? They went to a section, they went to a meeting. They called it the black vote, they started a black team. Yaga Koluba came and talked about the 4,500. Everybody said that was a lie and that was a true thing. They started forming the black, and Yaga Koluba said they were trying to move the speaker. People didn't believe it. People say, oh, Yaga Koluba can just talk. Today, look at where we are. People going to break into the main office and put it on Facebook that everybody's seen in the world. And an insignificant man like
He's a representative. It doesn't matter. He was elected by Liberians. Thank you very much. Your language is not welcome. Your language are very bad. Good night. We cannot have you. We cannot have that to come out and call a representative of the Republic of Liberia an idiot. That is unacceptable, and we're not going to tolerate that. You are a member of LPR. We can come out here and you have a conversation with us. So thank you, Mr. Soul. Let's hear your rapping.
Again, this program is hereby extended to 10:15. Period.
Mr. Soul, you better do your closing.
I'm telling you,
Mr. Soul.
You want me to do my closing right now?
Yeah.
I should put my closing because that's an audio I have to play. Then I'll play the audio.
Mr. Soul, you can play all your Liquor Talk audio tonight. Good night. Good night, Mr. Soul. You can play all your audio.
Don't do that to our CEO, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Lord,
hey, bro, let me respond to something.
I did hear Taylor was talking something. People say, "What young people? What you say? Young people are doing?" Yeah, young people learn from the older ones.
Yes,
they learn from the older folks. They learn from their fathers. This is the traditions of us as African. We learn from our people. So the corruption terror that you see happening, the stealing that you see happening, it was sanctions. It was a public declaration. It was, how when the president of a country, Moses knows that better, in the security, made a proclamation. Said today the flesh will fly halfway because of whatever reason. That's what the country listened to that. Our president, my president, who have been very apprehensive in terms of the leadership, and he has validated my argument. I declare corruptions as a legal tool for people to do anything, and once you do it, you give it to people. It's like a cadeau. And that's what we see happening today. But on the serious note, we have an obligation as media outlet, and we shouldn't come here to have a conversation or to create a sort of political satire like other media people. They want to do that. That's what we do. We have a responsibility to tell people the truth, to speak to the government, to speak to the opposition, to the broader spectrums of the Liberian people, whether they like it or they don't like it. They don't necessarily need to like what we say, but we tell them with our honest mind. And that has to do with our country. What, considering all that is unfolding, this president, who happens to be an older person,
you're learning. And if you use the "all" like that, it makes sense. This president, who's happened to be an older person, that's how you deal with it.
Okay, this old man who's supposedly to be like a wise person to bring people together, is creating a problem. And these things we saw, look, nobody people, when you provoke people and you continue to do things, it makes people to act in a very unusual ways. And he needs to stop all that you see happening. Kohler, who is NPF child soldier, by the way they all got overnight demoralized and behaving the way they're behaving, and nobody. Why the president didn't go run to the other day when there was a burn down, he went to the Capitol. Why he didn't go there today? The Capitol building was being vandalized. It was not Kohler unilateral decision. This is a complete provocation, and this is how wars start, whether people like it or not. Because when you provoke people, every devil it's not a matter of you welcoming it. Liberian people never welcome it. People felt their rights, their civil liberties were violated. Few handful of people started something, and what happened? Other people joined it. So, and all of those people in the country there, 95 or 80% of the young generation, Moses here knows that, and we all knows that. All of those people went through, they are not being properly demobilized. We know the number of guns in that country, even before CDC left, who have given account of those things then before. So that time, people, the leaders, they need to be wise and say, wait a minute, we passed through this route before. Let us not do this. Because when you disgrace and you continue to do one thing over and over to one or two person, the outburst can be terrible. So for those of you, when we come on this network, it's not a matter of people to entice people. Oh, they want you say they will. No. We need to speak to our government some of these things that they do not want to hear, to tell them it, because if we fail to do that, we ourselves will be guilty, because we did not look in the eyes of the people and tell our government to say, hey, you need to stop what you are doing. What they do today is unbelievable.
Thank you. Let's get your closing, Terry, then Moses can take us home.
Well, you have 15 minutes for the program to end.
Mr. So,
Moses, you go first if you want to.
If you don't, you will hear from me officially.
Can I please go first?
Moses, go ahead. Okay, hold on, Moses, hold on. The man threatening my job now. What you want to talk about, CEO? How many more minutes? You say you want to go 15 more minutes? Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, Moses, you agree with it, right? Because he doesn't like what I'm talking now, so he want to run out of it. He's one of the problem.
Mr. So, you say you wanted additional 15 minutes. You mandating us. You're the CEO. You mandating.
I know you're talking about it, and it's not a matter of to already get this sort of conversation. It's actually I had an errand to run. That's what I like to be here always. If you see me coming in late like this, then something happened.
Moses, you're eating on the show. Let's put you in the bag a little bit. Go ahead.
What this guy is
Mr. So, Moses is having lunch, and we just put in the bag a little bit. Go ahead, make your point. This is the liberal show.
So, the liberal, I know eating is unacceptable, which is okay.
When you're ready, Moses, just put your thumb up.
Yeah, you're so you're blushing. Let's say you want to take or to take or let two or leader AC. I told you, Moses, you're not listening to me. This guy, you will get to know who he is.
I know.
Oh, look, Too much is ongoing in the country.
Yeah,
It's becoming glaring as to where
honestly,
the president is. And I'm mostly Terry can speak to it. And I think Terry, I'm seeing the frustration in the eyes of Terry. He's still hanging in there because you always in a way of putting it aside. But it's becoming. Was that an ammo carrier they had the president in today?
Oh my goodness.
Moses,
yes.
is that an ammo carrier or what? He forced to inspect the guy of honor.
That's
Why,
what every
why are they,
every leader,
why are
every
they,
leader all over the world, that's what they do.
okay, they don't go jump in, pick up bag and dress it with like somebody going to get married on top of every leader. You see, these people, the way they're behaving, the way they're treating that old man is terrible. And they need to stop. They need to stop. If he's unable to inspect the guy of honor, everywhere I know, when people inspect the guy of honor, you mad. You don't go stay in pick up bag and other people holding you, whether you want to go for that. Why are they doing this to this old man? And you guys, you sit here, you don't want to talk about it, and you want to talk about it. They dress that pick up like some kind of baby shower or whatever, go put red and blue ribbon. This is embarrassing. If he can't even do it, he doesn't. We know the weather. We know his age. The vice president can proxy his affair to inspect. Simple as that, and chill out with Matter Bill. Why they go put him up there in the pickle there and moving around? It's wrong.
Yeah, and for security reason, that was totally at a different
That's
level.
even a risk. Look,
It's
that country, Liberia. I'm
you
sorry,
gotta
Liberia is peaceful.
yeah,
You expose that president.
yeah,
You can make some kind of crazy person from nowhere can assassinate that president in the major. Let's be honest. I'm not saying that's what people should do, but these people that get the habit all way of exposing this president, what sort of likeness or what sort of loyalty is that? And you just put it out there, and then other people on the other side, they're in that such an open air you have, or what they call it, Anthony Tedman Stadium, Rally Time Market, upstairs place. Let's be honest here, guys. Let's be honest.
yeah.
I'm not sounding very something here, but they continues to endanger this president under the canopy of being a loyalist or something. It's bad. You're who closer to him, liberal, you need to talk to him, please.
I don't know them, they don't know me.
All right.
No, but you see the conversation here, hopefully open the avenue for them to get some of these thoughts that we said. But let me speak first to your caller named Aaron. And most of your callers, liberal, when they call in, please let them know to not be emotional. You see, when we're having this conversation and people come in, they speak on their emotions. What I was speaking to the facts of what happened at the Capitol today had to do with the application of the rules of the House. At no point I told him that they had handed letters to Fanati Kofa. He came in already emotionally tense about maybe what he saw today and tried to make me the victim of, tried to put that on me. I only said what Colette said, that the process that they went through to get to where they were. And then the liberal told me, to keep my thoughts until later on. What I was going to conclude on that time is that, you see, there are things that happened that don't need media, that don't need the media. What happened today in the Capitol building should not have had any media there to say who was the boss and who was not the boss. Because this whole thing is an inner struggle and it should be dealt with internally. If they were going to take over that office, media should not have been there for, again, the same security reason. Now, I really have been taken back on the conversation that some of the things that happen going to lead to war, because the people in Liberia don't want war. If we go back and look at the security since Ellen's administration, there were many things that happened that would have engaged the people to go back to war. But the people don't want to go back to war. And we're not speaking here based on political party. I'm not affiliated with any political party in Liberia. When I come, I want to give you my honest opinion, my observation, and based on my experiences. And when you ask me questions on the security level, I'll do the best I can. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you maybe I'll work on it and do some research and speak on it next time.
Thank you.
But wait a minute now. We need to understand that people that are calling in and exhibiting emotions, like your boy Neketa, I think it was totally out of place, and he needs to be talked to off the show.
Okay, thank you. Let's Terry, we'll go around here one more time.
So let me say my closing. Am I gonna have closing?
Yeah, we'll come around. The CEO want to go another 5-10 minutes. So let's go around here. Terry, let's hear from you, from the caller. If you want to make comment or if you want to say something else, go ahead, do that.
The reason I said that, because you asked the question, do you think what is going on could lead to an insurrection or whatsoever? I want to agree with Mr. Sigbe that Liberians don't want war. But anytime war comes, does it involve the entire Liberian or does it involve the entire country? Certainly not. The people who engineer these things are a small handful of people who are strategists and they are very smart. If care was not taken and President Weah would have won the elections, or if care were not taken and people allegedly believe that President Weah rigged the election, I do believe that there would have been an insurrection from the military. And here's why. I was just reading on one of these guys from, I think, Gambia or so, and he said something. He said, Africa, the reason why we'll continue to have coups is because we fail to address what the main cause of the coups that take place in Africa. And the main causes of the coup is corruption and marginalization and the suppression of other political parties. Like the war that took place in Liberia. President Doe was working with political parties. Even the few days, the one before President Bokar got elected, we overheard that Prince C. Johnson, all right, rejected the offer of the former president, allegedly. So today, where is Prince C. Johnson? In President Bokar's government. So you must understand that the opposition in the military is divided. They don't get involved with politics, but they got people that they are loyal to that are in political parties, some of which are political leaders. So when you mess with these people and you start marginalizing and causing problem with some of these key factors that some of them are depending on, that helping some of them even in the military, you can spark something in the country that you yourself did not expect it could happen. All right? And that is why you got to be careful to create a playing field, a political playing field, for everybody to be part of the system to involve. President Bokar, before he came to power, he said what? It's not going to be a government of green or blue. It's going to be a government of inclusion, where every Liberian will have the ability to partake. I thought that was going to be what we're going to do. All of a sudden, we're seeing this whole entire burst of the saga that was not properly controlled. Then we're seeing the justice minister coming up to give opinion to the Supreme Court. The law says the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. When they speak, nobody give opinion on their opinion. Final arbiter, that's what the Constitution says. So I was looking, the justice minister said the other day when he went somewhere, I think that was to OKFN, and he said the act that created the justice ministry gave him the right to speak to the president. Okay, but does the act give you the right to give an opinion on a Supreme Court opinion? I doubt it, because the law says the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. So I think that will piss the Supreme Court off. I don't want to believe that the Supreme Court have a problem with his interpretation, because but he gave an opinion to the Supreme Court opinion. And
Jerry,
I will
You
just want
can
to.
join. You member of CDC tonight. Thank you very much.
No, I'm not a seditious, but what I want to say here.
You pushing all the way at your truthfulness. I mean,
This
not
behavior,
true.
this
You're going
behavior,
through.
you need to stop this kind of behavior.
Okay, liberal, no problem. Go
You need to
ahead.
stop this kind of behavior. Now he read to sanction terror because terror is speaking what is right and good for the country. That's what the old man told us. Instead, he has gizzilized the entire government, which was some of the same thing. Yeah, he gizzilized, he localized, he normalized the government. Those are some of the things I saw what happened as a result of Samuel Doe. So everything he told us here is a complete contrary to who he is and what he represents. We need to stand up and speak because other than that, the anger of the people, the wrath of the people, that's the last thing you want to experience. You saw what happened, is that Kenya or Tanzania, Kenya, certain time, when government started doing stuff, and he thinks that, look, let me tell you, the people that have lawyers, price, or what's the word? Price loyalists in that country was the late Senator Prince Johnson, the Charles Taylor, who is maybe late Roosevelt Johnson, George Bullitt. Those are people let people fought for them, and they are willing to do it again. Joseph Boyka don't have no loyalty. Unity Party, what they can do. So that thing they're doing in our country, we need to come out and tell them, because it looks like people like the high-core raw English to tell them in order to do it, because they are gambling people's lives in our country, and the thing is okay. What I don't understand why somebody who is governing that you want to create a chaotic situation in your own government. Look at the kind of statement he just made yesterday. I mean, what kind of woman is that?
I thought we finished discussing that one a long time ago. Why are you bringing it back again for?
You can tell me what to talk about.
But we're finished with that conversation. Why are you bringing it back
now? I don't finish with it. I'm just saying, because these are things.
Well, you had the opportunity yesterday to expand on it. Why didn't you do that? That conversation is closed. We're done with that. Why are you bringing it back again?
Liberal, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you.
Let's go around. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah,
we'll come around now to
let me just say this. I think on the show, I really want to limit my conversation or not spend time on preempting that what's going on in Liberia going to lead to war, because we don't want another insurrection or any kind of arms battle in that country, because we're not prepared for it. Only innocent people gonna go. Speaking on that, we need to begin to have, like I suggested yesterday, a discourse on specific issues with recommendations that we can share with the government. But I can tell you something: the media in Liberia has no respect when it comes to my book. No respect.
No respect when it comes to what?
When it comes to me, my own personal feeling about the media.
You have no respect for them?
No. None of them are AP affiliate. None of them are trained, from my own opinion, and I stand corrected. A lot of them don't know how to report the news. They don't know what to cover. Some of the questions they ask are totally out of place.
Some questions.
But when was it? You are a security analyst. When was the last time you came out of how do you call it, Boston School of Journalism?
No. But I'm just telling you this, because what is reported can escalate the minds of people to become security threats.
Right.
That's what the way the coverage goes, we instigate people, minds, and their emotions, and it can elevate to a security threat in the country. And that's from where I speak. Because some of the questions they ask people, and the platform of which they
I don't agree with you, Moses. I don't agree with you.
I don't agree with you. You got the right not to agree with me.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you my opinion and my own observation. And I think that is important for some of those guys for the folks, I don't know who giving them licenses to be, media. And I can tell you, I went from 2013. I took a camera to a world new newspaper office. I walked in there. All the people who are working there were watching the game. It's right there on Gurney Street. They were watching the game on a soccer game. I go in and I speak to the editor and I give him his camera. I walked out. While leaving, the question they asked me, "Oh, Papa, you got something to write in the news? Anything you get, just give up about $20. We'll put it in the news. We're writing the newspaper." From that day to this day, I refuse to read newspaper in Liberia.
Mose, that's poverty. Let me go
No,
to
no,
Terry.
seriously.
Thank you.
No, I know.
I agree with you, but that's poverty. That's what poverty will do for you. Let me go to Terry.
Yes,
We'll come back. We'll come back to you.
No. I'm giving my closing statement now.
Okay, you got 2 minutes. You got 1 minute.
And what happened there is that what they do can exacerbate things to the level of unrest, and that's where I'm coming from.
I agree.
They
Thank you.
need to be very serious and very structured in what they're reporting, how they're reporting it. Like the media at the Capitol building today, it was not necessary to have the media there covering and asking questions right outside. Those things are
why do you want to sanction media? Why do you want to sanction media? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm not sanctioning the media. I'm going to say those things are things that are carried out. It's an innocent stuff. You can take over the office and say we just took over the speaker, whatever fanatic over, who's not a representative, because this guy Colette was explaining a whole lot of other stuff that was totally not necessary.
Thank you.
For them to cover, and because they kept asking the question.
So you see now, if there was the
person with you, CEO.
Thank you.
I don't know what the topic is going to be, but I got my own personal topic
tomorrow.
Josh Weah stay impersonating as president of the Republic of Liberia.
She what?
Josh Weah is still impersonating like the president of the Republic of Liberia.
How do you know that? Did he say
he's at the country right now?
Huh?
Of course, he's a former president.
Is he speaking? He said, "I, Joe, we are president of the Republic of Liberia." That's what he's saying?
Wait, honey.
Huh?
I'm just saying the audience that he's speaking with, other presidents, and the conversation they're having.
Look,
let me tell you something. I've never seen Ellen. She's never gone outside.
Well,
and have something put on CDC. If he's doing it for campaign, it's okay. But he cannot seriously.
Mose, you're off a rail tonight. You're off a rail, completely off a rail tonight.
Don't come back to me and say that.
You're completely off a rail tonight.
That's my argument for. That's my
thing. Thank you.
I'm gonna go do the research on that, and that's what I'm gonna be talking about.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be here. Let me go to Terry.
I'm going to Terry back onto that.
Terry, let's hear your closing, and then Mr. So can take us home since he came late.
You guys did that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Terry. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. So, in as much as talk about all these things, I'm not saying that there will be coup in Liberia. Let me give the disclaimer, and neither do I support any form of violence. All right, and I just want to give that disclaimer. And I said that what brings these kind of things is when we have high level of corruption, and when we have political parties are suppressed from being able to express themselves and have suitable something. I'm quoting from somebody from, I think, a lady from part of Africa, I think, Rwanda. Her analysis and another journalist too speaking on the matter, and also looking from our country what happened. That is what I'm stating. But you and I know that I support JMB government, and I don't want anything, God forbid, of such to occur. But we also must, in as much, because while they say in time of war, in time of peace, prepare for war. In time of war, prepare for peace. we also have to look at some indicators, and we have to be cognizant towards that. And I think the government is taking measures towards that. For example, all right, when President Weah lost the elections, it was alleged that this Prince Johnson guy was behind some stuff. Prince Johnson came, and right after it, the military strategized a sporadic or protest using their wives to remove Prince Johnson from in the military. That was not a good sign. There was an investigation. The president, I don't know what was the investigation, maybe a security apparatus advising as to how to handle it, and he did. But however he handled it, we pray that it be handled properly, and he look at the military and look at all security apparatus with a close eye and support. We're hearing a lot of problem going on with the SSS, how you call it, security service, the protection security service. So you don't want to have those kind of, you don't want to be hearing those kind of things. And I want to believe these are things projected from the previous government. I'm not blaming JMB for it, but you have to take measure. You have to address those issues to have a suitable country. And like, I want to also agree with Mr. Sigbe concerning journalism in Liberia. I think there are a lot of media sabotaging and journalistic sabotaging. And that is the kind of a polarized or media society Liberia has. And these kind of media institutions or this type of media or programming can cause a serious insurrection in a country. Take, for example, when Kongba took over that time, he went to the radio station. I know that LBS aware. He went to the radio station and announced himself as president of the country. How he managed to take over the media at the time. You know, they always use the media. The media has always been used as a channel to disseminate. So sometimes you see somebody radio station and they just talk things, they dot people's voices, they use it to manipulate the society to stir up anger in people. You know, so I think there are so many things that the government got to look at and they got to address simultaneously if they're going to be a successful government for 6 years. Why? Because lastly, Liberia is because too much hate in the country, too much hatred. The hate is too much. And like that is not good for us. Thank you. You're muted.
That tonight you want to respect my power, and then when you're muted, usually you don't care what I'm muted or not. You'll just be talking blah 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 blah. That tonight now you know me. It's be Maya.
Who is he talking to?
Now you're muted. So you're muted as though that now you know that I got power. That you tell me I'm muted. You muted. I tell you, okay, go ahead, talk your own.
I don't know why you always let it get in your feelings. And it's not going to do anything to me. That's not going to deter me to speak, say what I want to say. You guys will forcibly make you to listen to us by force.
It's all right.
What we are saying here, we are saying it for the good of the country because we saw a lot of this thing.
You have no standing. You never supported us, and you can't stand on anything.
This is what makes me a free person. You're who supported people. Now you're scratching your hair. You're having headache.
But we have a standing. We can criticize because we supported. You didn't support, and so your criticism will be deemed as someone who has no interest for us.
Okay, let me make my closing. Good, I didn't support because I wanted to put myself in a position where I will be able to speak, where I won't be doing damage control. Oh, this is what the old men meant to say. This is what the young men meant to say. No. And this is why the media is very crucial in any civilized society. But it is unfortunate. And there's, like Terry, what you said, there's nothing we can do about it. The system is being polarized. Politician has managed successfully to infiltrate the media. Poverty in Israel, even we're seeing in this country, the mainstream and all of that, people use money. The propagandists are there. The one that are doing public relations, they are there. The real media war. So these sort of 3 different categories of people it would be very hard to distinguish who is who, depending who you talk to. And to what Moses said, that's ridiculous to say why the president impersonating former president. He's a former president. So what is happening now? This president, the conduct, the governing aspect of this president, it making this George we are to be more presidential, try to be more mature, and that's why you see Obna going to have a conversation to talk to people. So I mean, we see it here. Former president, you go, you travel all over the world. If you're a good orator, you speak, you meet different people, and I think he's peaceful. And I think he has come to realize he failed to use the executive authority, and few handful of people was just pushing here and there, and he just thought that was a small office that he was occupying. Now he sees the importance of that office. I think he's getting to be more mature, which of course the age is still in his favor. So all what we are saying here today, much is expected of President Boycott, with respect to all the resentment, the bitterness, and all that we went through. And I can tell you, people wanted George Weah to have turned that. How long Liberian people or African, how long they're going to stay into protest if they are going to rig that election? How many protests they can go for? 24 hours, 72 hours, that's it. You're Vlad, nothing going to come out of it. But I think he has on a few people, his wife, and the reason, and I told you that before, Kimia and the Saint Fanatic Kofa, those were the people, when other people were saying, oh, do it this way, George Weah refused. And I think he did that for the good of the country. He was not a really greedy person. And whatever that.
What?
I'm
He's not a really greedy person.
I'm talking about, because if that's something he wanted to do, he had a military in his
Oh my
power.
goodness.
I'm not talking about whatever he did in the past.
Okay, tell your own.
He made a wise decision, good for the country. People who have resisted, what will have happened? People who have died and other things will have happened, but ultimately he will still remain president. But what we are saying now, he's no longer there. Let us focus ahead. All we want this president to do now is to bring the country together. All of the things that he told us, all of the things that he said he would have done, no blue, no green, and everybody going to be represented, is proving on the contrary. All of these sort of massive corruption, suspension. You suspend the people and then the war scot-free. What next? These were things that he frowned on. He spoke against them. So is it because that he knows that he's not going to be seeking re-election? But then what he's doing he's damaging the party. He's not making the party.
Your party.
Okay, Samson, please. It's not either your party. Your Liberty Party is in pieces. Where in ability now from one, Dara Delon, Yombi Kanga, they get one in Basel. You get your own piece here in Sacramento. So
but Liberty Party get a party by now. And they get a party now.
What did they get? Nothing. That boy they didn't get anything. But look, I think we have to. What we saw happening today, it's just not good for our country. Provocation is not good. It's just like when you continue to poke in the eyes of the people, and when the man is against the wall, when he cannot go no longer, he bounced back. And in the process of bouncing back, it can necessarily be peaceful. But I think.
But let me ask you this one last question, before you leave, Mr. So, on a very serious note. If these kinds of behavior, specifically the corrupt behavior, stifling money that's supposed to be applied to certain institutions, certain people, and what have you, and only a few continue to enjoy, do you see us again as Liberians being angry, not necessarily going to war, but finding thousands of Liberians in the street to protest the corrupt behavior that is within this government? Do you see it coming soon or coming anytime at all?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. An outburst, when a cup is filled, what happened? The water spilled, right? And when it spills, what happened? It goes all around. So the outburst and the politicians of Liberia taking Liberian people for granted, and that is not guaranteed. People, when enough is enough, the reactions of the people is it can be unprecedented. It can turn out to be anything. And that is where those who already wishing for some terrible things to happen, they capitalize on that, and you can have a very, very chaotic situation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Police we have down there to want to see how many people are on the sport complex. Just during the county meet final for discussion purposes, say that kind of group of people converge on the executive marshal or where the police will do, police will go fire people, or we say, well, one day's work, and can they continue those people? They can. So this is what we need to do everything possible to stop these sort of unnecessary stuff.
Quickly, Mr. Liberal.
Go ahead.
Somebody said, Madam Sirleaf, why with all the what went on under Madam Sirleaf, why wasn't there insurrection or something like a coup? But what they don't understand was that the military that you see now was Madam Sirleaf military. She dissolved the AFL that were under President Doe. She dissolved that entire AFL under Charles Taylor, and she formulated a new military that was trained by Fiji, by UNMIL. So the military, and that military was well trained. They were given incentive. They had their own apartments, fresh water, electricity. That military under Madam Sirleaf lived the best life as compared to what they're living now. So you know, and that is the reason why there could have been nothing. And more to that, Madam Sirleaf had UNMIL in a huge contingent here in the Republic of Liberia. So there could have been nothing under her leadership. But now, Liberia is on her own. She has successfully crossed a 6-year term. It's the second term now we're crossing. So we have to be very careful with how we manage our security apparatus.
Quickly here, the Liberal, you know, I know, we have not had this sort of conversation because it has not come into the public domain. But we know what happens that led Fanatic Kofa to leave the country for that limited period of time. There were a lot of things that were unfolding. A lot of things. Some of those things have not really come in the media cycle, but they are not good. They not look good. It's bad. And when these kind of things are bad, then the reflection comes on the national government to have left the country the way he left. Because the thing about it, and that what Terry was saying is quite correct. There are some people, whether it be the police, the immigration, you do not know the ties of these people. So all of this information that comes out with it, it's not like before. Like before, you have the NSA, the SSS, and all of those people. There are few people that had these radio communications directly with the president when they're doing stuff. But the intercom system right now is polluted. It's contaminated. By the time somebody hears something, if you need telling a friend, if you need telling girlfriend, or even sometimes the director go to a girlfriend talk and talk something, the next thing it goes and the tip off, it becomes stuff. You know that, and we know.
Right.
And see what is happening is bad.
Thank you.
I know you feel very uncomfortable now, but we'll speak this thing.
I am comfortable. We'll be here tomorrow. Where will be the counterweight to your show. Terry and myself going to be here. I hope Jerry will be here as well. I hope most will be here.
Terry is not where you no longer. Terry,
okay, well. But let me say this. Let me say this.
I went chicken. I could have joined the real.
Let me say this very quickly to our own brother Walter Carter. I did not mean to interrupt you or victimize you or whatever you want to call it. But you are an educated man, Walter. You know the words. You know what to say when you're describing and will mean the same thing. You can't come on LPR and, as Moses was saying, be emotional. You know what to do. I know these things are affecting people psyche. I understand that. But you can't come on LPR and someone who was duly elected and calling a name, and you go on to use some colorful language.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, he said he used the word, some other word that I'm not going to repeat here. But anyhow,
I can describe the president any kind of way I want to describe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
You don't
Yeah,
need
it
to.
does.
You need to stop telling
No, no, no,
people
no, no,
what
no,
is
Mr.
going on.
So you can't
I
come
don't
on
think.
LPR,
I
Mr.
don't think
So
that was the
when
insult.
it's your show, you do whatever you want to do. When it's my show, I have my language
So
barrier.
yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
when
Mr. So let me make my
any
closing.
targeting
When you
this
were
law
making your
because
closing, I didn't say anything. Let me make
you
my closing.
interrupted me.
Oh,
So
so
let me
that was,
close now.
let me put you in the back.
Let
Let
me
me put you
close.
in the
Okay, let
garage.
me close now.
Let me put you in the garage quick. And you come to come interrupt me. But anyhow, no, very serious. No. So, Walter Carter, like I said, this is an intellectual platform, and one of the reasons why we consider ourselves an intellectual platform is because of people like you. You make this platform stronger. Your participation in this platform make us a strong people. Let's watch our language when we're speaking about each other. Let's watch the way things. Let's be respectful to the process and be respectful. We can disagree with the leadership. We can disagree with so many people, but that does not give us the right to call names. And that's why I have to abruptly cut you off because of the name calling. Coming tomorrow, come on Wednesday. You know, you and I, we don't get along real well because you're CDC, you're let to put your foot in your mouth, and I'm always helping you. You know, you can't put your foot in your mouth again tonight. I'm helping to take it out. So that's goal for you. Mr. CEO, this is the board that is speaking. We cannot and we will not allow you to come on this platform to be late anymore. We can't do that. We can't do that. Uh,
You want any now?
and if the board need to investigate your lateness, and we'll find out why you're late. We need to know all of those reasons.
Oh,
But please come on time, because this is the board. The board is spending money that they pay you to be the CEO of the LPR entity, and you can't come on to be late anymore. So
Tell the people how much you paying.
we're still in negotiation with you.
I see that. Guy, he's a disaster.
Or in the meantime, we're asking you to spend your own money to send material back to Liberia. You spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to the material to Liberia to upkeep the radio station over there, and we're still negotiating how much we're gonna pay. But the board chairman will run his mouth and say you're on a contract. So let's leave it as that. Yeah, you think they are
So
not
which at your palace, which are the Liberty Party you will now?
Liberty Party USA. They haven't taken me off. You got my registration paper.
oh, so Liberty Party got two different Liberty Party.
Where
No,
you?
we got Liberty Party USA
There
and
are only
Liberty
two
Party
members
USA.
here. Where for life support chairman? Where you against what a guy?
Oh,
Your party chairman here. I don't know whether he stayed there. What's the
here?
from Texas, in Texas area or wherever?
He's you mean Phyllis Wa?
Where Phyllis what?
Oh, Phyllis Wa in South Africa.
Yeah, they are two. They are on two member. Two. Or they only 2 year Liberty Party USA. One
But
is
yeah,
of
go with the leadership back home.
No. We got Phyllis Wa left
the
leadership a long time ago.
people not know them.
Phyllis. The only reason I got with the people in Liberia, when you have money time, then you member. But as soon as you make decision, then they want you to leave it with them. They're on the ground. They know what. But anyhow, folks, thank you, Mr. So, thank you, Terry.
Yeah. Good
Say
night.
good night to all of you, folks.
Bye.
Again, folks, if you're listening to Samson to Labrador Public Radio, I would say thank you very much for allowing us to be coming to your home tonight and allowing us to be part of this program. Thank you very much, and we'll say good night to you.